I think we're live. Excellent. You never know until you see something get rolling. I don't, anyways. The software stuff sucks, man. Like, I'm just learning to use like HubSpot and stuff like that, like for keeping tracking emails and things. Hey guys, this is Shaggy with Shaggy's Consulting and Training Group. I should say, group of companies. It's coffee time in the morning. And yesterday for me and my company, doing the dispatching and watching the brokerage with Isaiah and seeing all the carriers we're bringing in for compliance with Ali. Man, it's crazy to see networking working so big, like a network of people working together and referrals coming in, people sharing stuff back and forth, everybody working as a team. So networking and team. How's everybody doing? We're letting people pour in. If you like, share, like. We sent out some invites to some people to come in because I think uh, this week we're starting out. We're going into the seventh month. The first year, half the year was what it was, right? That's what it was. We're brokers, we're trucking companies, we're owner operators wanting to be trucking companies, all these different things. We got company trucks. We don't have owner operators. We don't have customers. We're a carrier with 3 trucks with no customers. All these different things going on. Some of us just use low boards. Some just use customers. Some use both. Some people only go after customers directly based off Google and spreadsheets and searching on LinkedIn. Other people go after customers through dispatching and brokering and going to the same, using brokers and making the second call and going direct. And some people use their network to help them too on top of that. So, networking. It's the funniest thing. I've trained thousands of people and I see people every day. Yesterday, I talked to so many people and I asked every one of them if they went back to when they were toddlers, to the, if they're even around. It's kind of a joke because half of us are so old. No, just kidding. That those people are gone. No, just kidding. But, so you think about everybody you went to school with, you're around, people involved. Some of the first loads my brokerage took were from people I grew up with. You know what I mean? People I grew up with needed something moved, and we moved it to get practice, the process. And that was good enough for us to get the kinks worked out. Just because I always tell everybody what's going on, they're like, "How do you do anything?" Well, I mean, you got to tell people what you're doing. Well, you kind of get too personal. Well, that's because I'm networking. Tire Killer says, "Good morning." What's up, Tire Killer? How are you, man? Good morning. Cheers. How's everybody doing? Like, yeah, I hope you guys like these coffees in the morning. Today is about why do people not network? That's what I want to know from you guys. Why do people not know? I mean, seriously, you don't. Why do people only do their business as the day and tomorrow? What do you guys think? What's the topic this morning? And also, if you guys are like out there flowing through, and I mean, what do you have trouble with? I'm working on this webinar. I'm going to do it on August 20th. It's going to be on a Sunday. And we're going to start it on Sundays from 2 to 8:30 with a little lunch break in the middle of 30 minutes because you're going to need it. And I'm making like this workshop manual. It's kind of cool. And I'm going to do 6 hours of training. Like the first hour is going to be like restructuring or setting up the trucking company. The second hour is going to be the difference between compliance of just you nonchalantly doing it and actually having people 20, 30, 5, 10, 15 trucks. And then we're going to do like understanding the cost of operations for your company, but not only yours. What if you expand and bring on other mouths to feed? You know what I mean? And then we're going to talk about this thing called building lanes, this networking. I keep telling all these people in my training classes how to post search and use e-carrier check to tell people what direction you want to go. It's kind of like posting and searching with direction, not for the day and tomorrow, for later on. Why don't you think people are willing to network? You guys tell me in the comments when you're flowing through. Why are people so scared to network and get freight they can't handle? You think it's because they don't know what to do with it? I only got 2 or 3 trucks. What do I do with it? I can only do 2 loads. What? I mean, I can't even put on owner operators. How do I trust another carrier? Now I'm back to the fucking load boards again. Why would I network? I hate calling people up or letting people call me and they freaking tell me about freight and lanes that I want, but I can't do it because I'm not there. When I get there, I'll do it. I sure will. I'll be right on top of that. Why do people not network? That's my question for coffee in the morning today. What is so hard? It's funny, guys, right? Because when you're calling outbound and you're not networking or searching with direction or posting with direction, you're always getting $1.38 and $1.80 and this real cheap shit. Or you got to go somewhere fucked up to get it right now, right? It's like I'm on the same load boards as you. We're dispatching trucks. I call the same people. But what's funny is me and James and Don are networking, and Justin and Isaiah's and William. We look ahead and see what's going on. It's like we see what these customers are sending us right now, the rates for this flatbed freight. Then we see what's on the load. Justin's like, man, this is a $1,200 difference. Like, but what brokers are keeping? But whose fault is that if you're willing to take it? You don't know your rates, your diversity. It's not about what other people are leaving on the table. It's your numbers, right? So when they call us, not only do they don't even really find out who we are, they want the truck so bad that they're giving it to us higher rates. Everybody that does that, I hear guys say, I have to shut it off. You know what I mean? I'm like, why'd you shut it off? Because they wouldn't leave me alone. It's too many calls. Networking. If a broker or customer was looking for you, your carrier, your 10 trailers, your trucks, whatever you have right now, how would they find you to offer it for you? That's always the question, right? Like, as a broker, why are we so scared to network? To tell people that we need something or what we're looking for. You think it's because they're too scared if they actually found it to know what to do with it? Okay, you got your customer now. They're giving you 10 loads a day. You need to get them done. The other carrier was doing it. You wanted in there so bad to get those 4 loads, but they took care of 10. Back to the load boards, right? Why not be a broker and get somebody else to help you? Unless the customer says you have to do it with your carrier, then you get more add-on owner operators. Build backhauls. Weren't you prepared to scale your company whenever you were prepared to go get a customer? You think that's why people don't network? They don't understand? Must be a slow Tuesday morning. Or I'm really fucking boring this morning, you know what I mean? Or it's early. I guess it is like 7:44 most places, right? And everybody's like, oh shit, it's that networking shit. Man, I don't know. I tell you right now, if I was opening a trucking company, right? So like I'm doing this new webinar coming out. So I'll just talk about my webinar today since no one wants to talk about networking. So like I over the last 2 years since the economy's flipped, I've thought about these 6 things. One is customers, knowing the 3 ways to get customers and a few other things behind it, right? Nothing like I'm not gonna like do sales, but like knowing the proper way to talk in 3 different directions, who you're looking for, and some of the things to say, right? What's up, Hawkeye? And knowing some of the same things to say, and you know, and that's important for us. Knowing what to do with the customer freight when we get it, scary. Knowing what a brokerage is to a dispatching or a carrier that has more than one truck. That's called leverage, controlling the trucks, servicing the customers. And then so I'm going to do like 6 hours starting here in 2 weeks. And I've come up with this workshop pamphlet that I just literally wrote yesterday. It's crazy. So now it's in the process of being proofread and we're putting stuff to it. I'm going to put some stuff on it, and we're going to have it to where you have to take notes as we go. But I've already put the sections in there of where I want to go. It's going to be 6 hours, 4 topics per hour of each set. It's going to be really cool. And it's going to be a little more advanced. So it's like you're going to have to keep up and really focus because it's like the topics that I picked are real cool. It's going to be interesting, fast. It's like for people that want to restructure and go to the next level, or people that are already in that were doing something wrong and they want to go to the next level, or maybe a carrier that is planning on still doing it, but they want the freight and the plan real quick, rough estimate of what to do in the first so many days. You know what I mean? How to turn it around. It's gonna be cool. What's up, guys? So why do people not network? I still don't know. No one ever answers that question. They're scared. They don't know how. They can't talk on the phone. They just like working with brokers. Why don't you build the lanes so you don't have to freight chase? When people will call you and offer you more lanes and volume of what you really want, why don't we do it more? I don't see nobody doing it except for my students. And then they do it. Then you got people like Mike Castile saying, man, I got to turn that shit off, and people like that because there's just too much. Then you get upset because you don't have enough trucks to cover what they're offering you. And that's stupid. I mean, they'll give it to you like crazy. They just want the loads covered. It's weird. I know every call I have comes back to networking, building relationships, getting direct, curate, dedicated lanes, hauling something specialized. I'm like, okay, well, a lot of people are doing a lot of that stuff now. So if you're not posted all the time for when they fall off my load and I can find you to give it to you for the other guy, how are you ever going to find it? Unless you specifically look up that commodity, that lane, and find it with the brokers or the manufacturers or who's moving it. You know what I mean? Like airplane motors, type like that, solar panels, windmill blades, whatever. Where's all the John Deere, Caterpillar, Bobcat, Toyota? What's that other brand over here that I see popping up? Dixie Chopper, lawnmowers, crates, routes. Where's all that at? What are you going to specialize in? There's something for everything. Hell, I even get calls right now for mail already, and it's paying pretty damn good. I'm like, fuck, man. Just you got to find a carrier in the area because the times are different. You know, once you have one lane, why can't you start working on the backhaul? I mean, hell, half the time when you're freighting, I bet you half the time when you're freight chasing now, you lose one day when you freight chase, or by the time you haul the cheap freight, you wish you would have stayed and did an average. Build a lane, find one going one way and build it back. What if on one end you use one broker for the load all the time, on the other end you use six? Who cares? I know I'm boring today. It's quiet. There's nobody out there. What do you guys got? You guys got any questions for me? Like this morning while we're drinking coffee. How was your day? How's your week so far? Did you have any, what happened yesterday? I mean, no one really conversates. You can't even walk through a truck stop without getting pissed off at somebody. Dude's in the parking spot. This guy's yelling. I'm mad about my weight. I don't like this. This sucks. That stuff. My dispatcher load. Kids pissed me off. Husband is said. Wife won't answer the phone. Dispatchers made me mad. That shipper was sucked ass. What's up, Charles? I sent you the link. We're talking about networking. We're 16 minutes in, I'm warming up. I just want to know why nobody does it. Like every time I do a call, half the problem is lanes and freight or money. The three things. We don't understand owner operators. We don't know what to do with customers. And we don't know why a brokerage is important. But we did know it was important to add 4 company trucks. Now the drivers suck. We hate them. You know what I mean? Why don't we network? Why don't we build a product that we can sell to people and then network it? Why don't we understand what we're doing? Why don't we understand why we're involved, what kind of equipment we're going to specialize in, and then what our cost is for ourselves, and then build lanes and let people know what we need instead of letting everybody else tell us what they got. I don't know. I'm asking you guys, why do we keep doing that? Why don't we set up like that? I'm doing this webinar for that exact thing. And then I'm adding the brokerage and getting customers in 3 ways and all that stuff too. I think it's 6 hours of very important topics that we don't know right now. And even people that have been in business for a while, don't you get caught up and need to rethink what you're doing sometimes? Like shit. Isn't this America where it seems like it changes every 2 years? No matter whether you're Republican, Democrat, or those other 14 parties in business. So why are we so scared of networking? What does it make it so hard? I just like the people on the board that think they're really negotiating with people when they're calling outbound. Like you're calling the board, you're like, man, I pulled a fast one on that guy. I really got the money out of that guy. No, he didn't. I guess sometimes brokers take it. I get it. Different seasons flip, times go on. We were on there. I think it was Justin was on there talking about a $1,200 difference on a load. And then another guy though, they called me on a produce load. It was like they were taking it for like $2,000-3,000 less. Oh no, Charles is here. I thought Frank might come in, but I don't know where he's at.
He's probably still sleeping under his pillow.
He might be. He might be.
Yeah,
Melissa.
it might be.
Melissa.
That
I
or Frank Jr. tied him up and stuck him in a closet somewhere to keep him quiet.
that could happen. I know he's got a show tonight on his Frank G trucks and stuff and G3 marketing.
Yeah,
I don't know what the topic says. Something's going on. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right for now.
No, I'm getting ready to do a webinar again. So really, I came on this morning. My big thing is I always like thinking about the day before, right?
Yeah.
And so the day before, I had two of my clients that called were new and they're actually working somewhere. So I
Hmm.
told them to set up one-on-ones with me or do this webinar coming up where I teach them to get the authority going.
Yeah.
They're dead set on doing it. And then I teach the wife how to build a local and regional network where he wants to run for him.
Hmm.
And I want to show them what owner operators does for them if they decide to expand. You know what I mean? And then
Yep.
if they do expand, I want them to know how to make the second call from brokers or go after customers on an opportunity approach and why having a brokerage in her name, the trucking company is important if they go to that level and not think it's only for the big guys. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
And it's funny because I was doing that with that ladies, and then you get these other ones that are calling you that have 2 trucks. They don't drive with no CDL, and then you got this, you got that, and it's crazy because they're already in. They got 3 trucks they're driving, 2 trucks they're driving, or they're already upside down with 4 trucks. Their insurance get jacked because their credit score went
But
down. Like
but you did
all.
say but you did say they didn't have a license and they ain't driven a truck, right?
Oh
Didn't
yeah,
you
yeah,
just say
that
that?
was the first one. Yeah, that's the first couple. Or it's a husband and wife that's owner operator never had their authority. Was like the other two.
Mm,
Yeah, it's crazy. So then you get all these other people that either don't have a license or they bought trucks and they're driving, and instead of diversifying, they bought company trucks. So when there was more freight than trucks, they're good, right?
yeah.
And then, but what's up, Mad Max? It's Charles. Mad Max is in the house.
Hey, what's up, Mad Max?
I know.
I
All
see
right.
him.
I know, right? And so you think about it. So I was sitting here thinking for a while, for the last 2 years. Before I used to teach broker and trucking and whatever, like everything, and just paint these pictures
Yeah.
all over the place. Like I was
Mhm.
throwing paint up there like crazy. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
then, you get back and you start thinking. I was telling Frank, it's like to me, I was wanting everybody to know all the information, but really, when the people that we deal with, the real important thing is I got 6 hours. I'm going to do it. The first one's just like restructure what we're doing and
All right.
starting it the right way, right?
All right.
And, and then a lot of people from doing Charles driving and then having three drivers, a lot of people treat the compliance the same, and it's not. Compliance and safety changes. When
Yeah.
Charles drives, still the same concept, right? So I'm
Yeah.
going over the problems. And then the second part is most of these people don't know the cost of operations for themselves, let alone if they have a driver, let alone if they lease on an owner operator, or if they lease on a fleet owner with driver. They don't have a clue. And then how do we duplicate that product for 50 weeks and then diversify, right?
Yeah.
You
Well,
have to know those numbers,
one is doing the research. Make sure you do the research on what you're doing and how you're doing it.
right?
Two is make sure you're networking. Build a connection so that
All
way you
right.
have something to
Okay.
start. And it's not that the product that you're going after. You want to network and show people what you are doing.
So let's stay right there. Hold on. So okay. So we're just like you, and you're just like everybody else. Your buddies, his buddies. We're at the point where we know our cost of operations. We either have our authority, or we've got caught up in that gold rush, and we're out there freight chasing. Right.
Yep.
So we pull the reins
So we're
back,
running the load board. Yep.
right?
Yep.
Stay with me here, Charles. So pull the reins back and look at what we're doing. Because we need to do this sometimes. Like, man, these drivers aren't working no more. Maybe I need to lease purchase these trucks and make my whole fleet owner operators because I have the freight.
Yep.
Or divide. We need to stop and look at why we became in business and who's here still here to help me. Because a lot of guys started out with something, but now they got ghosts.
But
Nobody fucking
and then another thing to look at is, are we still making this, or is our profit margin still the same as it was when we first started? Did we shrink?
we had to
Why did we shrink?
reevaluate, right?
Why did we go down in money? What is there we need to look at that we can bring this back up or gain more?
Okay. So
It's
we
a
have the
constant you must do every, at least me, I would do every 2 months. Try to figure out, all right, am I still making the same profit? Did I go down? Why did I go down? Was it because I missed a freight, or was it because I got held up because of something wrong with my truck, or something happened?
we're gonna go past that. We're gonna take it to a whole past Charles level. Check it out. We're still going. So now we
Yeah,
got
but I'm
cost
just saying.
operations, right? Okay. So
Yeah,
now we
I'm
got
just
a
saying this
cost
is
operation.
normal operations that you need to
Okay.
be doing.
So now
Yeah,
what most people do is they go out and they get out there in the market where all they do is worry about what they think everybody else is leaving on the table and what brokers are keeping, right?
yeah,
But what we're going to do is we're going to go utilize what you hear me keep talking about, and we're going to go let every customer and every broker know that Charles wants to run loads all the time, all day long, with a 150-mile radius of Indianapolis in
yep,
a drive-in trailer, right?
yep.
And you're available next week. 2 months from now, you're still available, right? Not
Still
today.
available. Yes.
Oh, and then if you want it dedicated, you're going to say, well, Charles is available from St. Louis to Indy and Indy to St. Louis every day for the next 60 days. Call me ahead of time, pre plan me out, whatever you need, I'm available, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Okay, so now that you have that, so now you're getting all this work, and customers are like, man, you're here all the time telling your drivers are telling you, brokers are calling you, giving their customers away, and you even run into a few just because you're networking and trucking from people you know that tell you about stuff, right?
Yep.
Well, what the fuck do you do with it? You only got three trucks.
You sit there and do the research and make sure you're able to pick up more trucks. Because if you're getting that kind of extra work,
Well, what
you
if they can't get the trucks to fast enough? You only have three trucks. I mean, I'm scared to network, Charles, because I don't know what to do with the customer. And if I get all those brokers to give me all that freight I can't handle, I'm just going to let them down if they fail. Well, if I can't handle it. So why won't I just wait until I need it?
no. No, no, you don't want to do that because if you do it when you want it or when you need it, you're going to end up shorthanded and you're going to end up screwing up your customers and yourself, anyways.
Then
You're going
why?
to be letting yourself down. But if you network and get it prepared before now and say, hey, all right, I hear you just got two more trucks. Um, give me uh, 2 weeks and I can put them full time work for the next 6 months with two of my customers that I got for the work that I'm doing. Let me know if you are available for that. You always
But
make sure
what?
you
But what?
contact other people, make sure you can get the work
But what
or
if
at
you
least have the
what if
drivers.
you have three trucks? You open a brokerage and your wife's name is separated for the liability. You told the customer you had 10 buddies that all had the same type of trucks. You They're just too stupid to get customers, and their wives hate them as much as I do. And so you open a brokerage to legally be able to pay them. Do you have a problem working with them too?
No,
Well, that's
no.
why I got the
You're
brokerage.
learning. You're
Like, well,
learning. No, I'm going to learn and diversify myself to where I can be able to pick up trucks when
so
I
you
need it
know, yeah.
and be able to take care of them and pay them. Plus, also benefit myself to move myself in other avenues if need be.
Wow. So a brokerage for a little. See, it's funny because when I started in 2008, I had what 24 trucks in 15 months, and I seen all
Mhm.
these mom and pop carriers with customers dropping trailers, and it was weird because I didn't have no mentors. So understanding the concept of what I left on the table. Oh my God.
Yeah.
If I would have opened a brokerage under Melissa or me back then and her had the trucking like we did,
Hmm.
it would have been a total different story. Like, I'm not telling you. I let so much opportunity go just because I never understood why a brokerage is so important for a smaller carrier because of liability, days to pay, just controlling the customer in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that's how would I want to put it? It's a bigger beneficial for you for being a small guy to do that than it is to sit there and rely on a factoring company or something else to sit there and do your work for you. Because now you're losing money. You're having them do all your work. Yes, it might be less paperwork, but you're losing money on the table, giving it to them for them to do it, and then they're paying out, and then they're holding up because now they're having the front.
What
Uh,
happened to all your buddies that had customers and they only had three, five, 10 trucks, but the customer needed them when they had more freight than trucks. But as soon as there was the freight leveled out or went less, the first thing that happens, the brokers are taking care of the other 80 loads your buddies don't do. See
I
what happened?
mean,
It happened to all these guys. They all like they were getting Christmas bonuses,
yeah.
customer, but as soon as the market changes, the customer plays the market. Now you're like, you can't do nothing for them because you can only do three loads.
That's where you get with your buddies and you network with them to be able to hook them up and hook yourself up and do it under as a brokerage. So you can broker
Oh,
them to be your drivers that you need when your customer goes up or goes down in freight to where you can move different avenues. So
so
that
you
way
think,
you're not losing, you're gaining and you're helping out your other friends that
so
got
you're
trucks.
trying to tell me most of smaller carrier, if they would open a brokerage and think of the brokerage as just leverage, but not a brokerage, instead of what everybody's painting the picture of it as, they'd be that much more successful.
Yes.
And that's probably a big thing that kills a lot of carriers and they don't ever go anywhere because they leave a whole half the world on the table,
Yes.
huh?
Yes. Because they're not looking at the big picture. They're looking at the small picture at the moment.
So like
And
then
you need to
our
be, and you
then
need to be looking at the big picture because in a business, you want to, when you go to start a business, when you go to do a business plan, they tell you what is your 5 year outlook, not what your next 6 months outlook is or your next year. They tell you build a 5 year outlook. What are you going to be? What are you looking for? How far are you going to advance in 5 years? Do you see yourself growing to get more equipment or anything in 5 years? Any time you go to start a new business, they ask you, and the first words is, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" Exactly.
oh yeah. So
But
this
nobody's wanting to plan that far because they're like, "I bought the truck. I'm gonna make it money this year." Well, yeah, granted, first year you're gonna lose money. Second year you're gonna break even. Third, you need to be making your profit. But if you do it right, you can actually start making a profit on your second year, and you can actually break even on your first year if you do it right.
What if you make money your first year? What if you make money your first month?
Make a profit
Yeah,
and
but
not,
like,
not having to worry about breaking
yeah,
even.
yeah. What if you already start making a profit to the plus every month, right off the bat?
That'd be the way to go. That'd be the smartest way to go.
Well, then
Yeah,
you
'cause
have to learn
that's
about
what you're in business for. You want to be able to start making a profit immediately.
yeah, because were you just talking about a one trick guy has no ambitions, or a person that wants to actually run a company?
Yeah, pretty much.
Uh, yeah,
I'm talking about the
one.
one guy that's
I
getting
mean,
out there just trying
yeah,
to get it going,
we call those
and
turnips.
or the guy that's got money and goes, oh well, I'm gonna start out big. I'm gonna be like everybody else. I
We
got
call those
buddies of mine that want to drive. I'm gonna go buy 3 or 4 trucks
one truck
and
guys.
throw them in there.
One truck guys are like turnips, like a turnip, where you squeeze it,
Yeah, yeah,
squeeze.
you squeeze the
They
blood.
want all that. They want all that money, but you can only squeeze it so much, and really nothing comes out. It's just one turnip.
Yeah, it's like they say, you can't get blood out of a turnip.
You
You
can't
can't.
get
You only squeeze it
turnip.
so far.
That's
Yeah.
what we call them, turnips. You're a turnip. Why? Because you're one. I mean, unless your wife's a multimillionaire and this is your side hobby.
Yeah, that'd be the only way.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
That or you got another business that's making money to be able to pay for that.
yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I have a couple of guys that I know very well, friends of mine, that do that. That has another company, and they're switching out of that company and doing their and going into trucking, but they're able to do it because the other company is supporting them on what they're doing. Totally different field too. It's something that they wanted to do. There's a couple of them that I do have that do that are doing that now.
So, like the last hour of my webinar, I'm going to teach 3 different ways to get customers, to see customers, and then
Yeah,
what to do with them. To go with all. So, I figured those are 6 killer topics because that's what almost everybody I know has a problem with.
yeah. And the biggest one is cold calls. Cold calls. No one likes calling people. They don't like making that cold call because
Everybody's
they're the
thinking,
first thing in their mind when they make that phone call. I already know this guy's going to tell me no. He's going to give me some kind of crap, and they're going, "Hello, this is Lefty's Trucking. Um, I was calling to see if you actually had any freight you need to be moving. I have a truck available. Oh no, we got a brokerage that we did. Well, I also have a brokerage. Uh, yeah, we can work with you. I'm bonded." And then that ain't what they want to hear because they're like, "Oh, really? You're a brokerage, but you also have a truck." Yeah. See, when you're sitting there, "Oh no, I just got a truck, and I'm just trying to get." No, we deal with brokers. We ain't gonna give you a try, and they hang up because you know why? They they rather deal with someone that's got a brokerage, and the reason why I'm saying that is because it's a smarter. They know someone that knows what's going on with the freight and what they're doing with the lanes. They know how the system works, and they rather deal with someone that has the ability to be able to use a brokerage and be able to broker the loads and be able to keep their product moving. I mean, I can do it with a 2 truck system. Me and my brother could buy a couple trucks. We could do it, but don't mean I'm going to have my foot in the door because the guy that has the brokerage on his business can actually broker the deal, get more trucks at one time when they need it, and have it before I can sit there and go, well, hey, bub, we need to get more people. We need to get more trucks. By the time we get more trucks, it's already done and over.
Dad, the truck broke down. We don't have another truck. What do we do? We can't. Well, let's go get Jimmy and do it illegally so he can get in a wreck.
Yeah. Or, well, hey, let's go broke and go get rent a trucks and go broke trying to make the money and run these trucks while we're paying for a rental truck. Now you're paying for a truck to get fixed. You had
So
to pay
what?
for a tow bill, so you're out of money all the way around. Even though,
Well, back to the point though, Charles. Why do you
yeah,
think all these carriers get into a business that you're always doing sales, right? You're selling this guy,
yes,
you're
you're
selling
a salesman.
you're selling your factoring company, you're selling fuel cards, you're selling your kids, you're selling the drivers, you're selling owner operators, you're selling the brokers, you're lying to the brokers, whatever. You're
Yeah,
like, where did you know what I mean? That's networking.
yes.
To a point.
Yeah.
That's the wrong
But
though.
I mean, yeah, it is to a point.
Yeah.
But like you got to be able to do that. Because if not, you're not going to make it. I mean, you're not going to be able to get your foot in the door in advance the way you want to, because without the knowledge
Well, how do
and
you
without having,
how do you do it? Like, if you don't know, like, okay, so even my dispatching, I'm not networking I'll build a network to move a carrier, but the number one
yeah,
agenda if I'm dispatching them is to move my own freight. I'm just telling you for a fact.
yeah.
So I
But
can make,
you're straight up being honest.
yeah,
See, that's the thing. Be honest about what you're doing.
eh. That's the whole point. Otherwise, there's no way in hell I'd go get owner operators and let them move my freight. Wait, that's,
No, you would do that because you're a broker.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's my plan.
Yeah, see, and that's where it makes it nice about it being a broker and having a brokerage, because you're able to pick up owner and operators and let them run it and keep them busy
Yeah, we have a
while
lot.
you're keeping yourself busy and your customers happy,
Huh.
which a lot of people don't understand that.
But then why would you get in trucking and not have those six things figured out about your trucking business before you start rather than just getting the MC number, getting some insurance, and getting a load board?
Real quick answer, and I'll give you the right answer on that. I didn't do enough research and I did not take the time to plan on what I was doing.
Well, I mean, every business you had, Charles, before this, no matter what you're in, they had plans, safety meetings, orientations, hiring.
Mhm.
A lot of them had drug testing. They actually had ongoing training stuff. All your factory jobs, fucking even McDonald's and Taco Bell have somewhat technical procedures, but
Oh,
you,
yeah,
but you
quite a
don't.
bit. No, because I wasn't thinking about it when I did it. That's what happened. I was just, I'm buying a truck. I got someone that can give me the freight, and I'll run it for
Like,
them.
told me it was a good idea to buy this truck, go into business with them.
Yeah,
Oh wait, I'm that
the deal sounded good until I didn't do all.
guy. I'm
Yeah,
that color guy that's getting
yeah. I'm that white collar.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
white
white
collar,
collar.
not the blue collar. I'm the
No,
white collar guy.
like, yeah, I'm gonna go out there and freaking use my intelligence and all my freaking Wall Street and buy a bunch of trucks, put drivers in them, go use load boards, and hire a dispatcher.
Yep. And then
Well,
I'm gonna use a factoring company to do all my payroll.
oh yeah, that's how I'm gonna do that too. Yeah, yep. Oh
Yeah,
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 and they got these prepaid fuel cards. Oh yeah,
yeah. Where it eats up almost 30% of what you, yeah, for your fuel. So when you, yeah, you know, because I'm new. I don't have a name out there. Yeah,
and no one's gonna
because a buddy of mine sold me the dream and I went for it. That's what
and,
happened.
and no one's gonna use me in the first 90 days, so I gotta use a dispatching service now because they're the
Yeah.
only ones that have the relationships.
Yep.
By all means, no brokers will work with me.
No, because I don't have the time in. Yeah. Yeah, I got the
Oh,
time
yeah,
in
no one's
driving the truck, but I ain't got the time in as a business.
You know what I see really interesting though with right now that's big though? I think since CH Robinson got sued or tried suing FMCSA, so what was happening was with all these new brokers coming in, CH Robinson, with everything going on, what it seems like as you want, if you pay attention to like different groups like TIA and all those other guys,
Mhm.
and just like I tag all these different brokerages, so I see all their posts and stuff just to keep myself educated. And then my
Yep.
wife is really good too herself, right? And so I've been
Yep.
watching CH Robinson go after FMCSA because what happens is whenever you broker a load to a carrier, if you don't
Mhm.
go in a certain place and screenshot a safety score and do a certain couple things, and you put that guy on a load and he's out of hours or he's got a lot of crashes or just shitty as hell,
Yep.
he's in a wreck, you are so much of a percentage liable as a broker and they're tired of getting fucking sued. And I'm sure all the top 30 brokers right that do volume are right behind them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep. Exactly.
And so now what they're doing is if you are like a lot of them have changed how would they'll use a carrier. And a lot
Mhm.
of them haven't changed, but if you don't show inspections where you've been DOT inspected yet,
Yeah.
not, not by your audit, I'm talking about like on the road,
Yeah. Yeah. Actual.
you
Yeah.
don't have like 1 to 5, they won't even use you.
Yeah.
And I believe customers are going to follow suit to some too.
Because their first thing they're going to think is you're unsafe. Your vehicle's unsafe.
You know,
Your
they
equipment's
got these
unsafe.
fucking claims, dude. Like their
Yep.
claims through the roof.
Yep.
Dude, my guys screen our carriers on our loads, and I'm not even gonna
Mhm.
say how many we moved this month, but it's over 50. We're all right. We're rolling at my brokerage,
Yeah.
and we got like 8 customers on the book, and 2 of them rolling, booked in for here in 60 days. They have a lot of volume, so like we're just
Nice.
setting blocks. You know what I mean?
Yep. It is. It's building blocks, step by step. Yeah, it takes a while.
Should we just put on
But
30
the
trucks
problem is,
clients?
the problem is drivers, and I'm not trying to put it down a driver, but they don't want to take the time to do the work, and that's half the problem.
Oh yeah, networking.
Got to be
No,
able.
they
You
didn't
got
want
to be
to
able to do the
do
work.
let's go back. One, do they know how to do the work? If they did know how to
Probably
do
not.
the work, I think 50% still won't do the work.
Well, like me, I wouldn't know everything that I need to know, but I would definitely call you and say, "Hey, Shaggy, I need to know. This is what I do know,
Frank
and I
just
need to know what I don't know, so I don't get myself screwed, and be able to start on the right foot to make sure I'm in the right way I need to be."
Frank G Frank G just woke up.
Oh, did he? Oh, that means Frank Jr. must have finally let him out of the closet.
And Mad Max says, so fuel card's not good?
Depends on depends on the fuel card and what your percentage is on it, what they're charging you. Uh, Fuel Man, which used to be Fuel Man, which is now Fleet Fuel.
Yeah, go right ahead, Charles. You open that ball wax. You know what I mean? Just go right on in there. You know what I mean?
I mean, I have used fuel cards. I have used them. There's a few of them. Wrights is one that's really good that you can use and actually not get burned on them. But there's quite a few of them out there that'll burn you quickly. But if you're starting out and you ain't got much, yeah, a fuel card would be the way to go at the time. But you got to make sure you get it paid quickly, because they'll eat you alive in the interest and late fees and this and that fee. And yeah,
I
been
was
there,
gonna
done that.
I was gonna
Learned my
pull it.
mistake on dealing with certain ones.
Yeah, I need to wait for my new one to come in. I got my fuel card report right here. It's through FTS Plus.
All right.
You can do like Flying J's, TAs, Petros, Pilots, Ambas, Quick
Yeah.
Trip, Sap Brothers, all of them. And
Yeah.
man, the guys were getting like the fuel discounts on them were like 60 and 70 cents.
Yeah.
Now, these are and more. There's more on them. But these are all these cards are based off credit or prepaid. You don't get it from it.
Credit.
Yeah, there's no money put up. Well, no, I can do a
No.
bad credit, but I can put my own money up on it, and then I
Yes.
just refresh it every week.
Yes. You can
Like
do that
every
too.
week when I
Yeah.
do my payroll, that day I collect my money back, and then I pay the fuel card on
Yes.
my
You
own.
can do it that way and
Yeah,
still get your discounts and benefits
I
off
get
of it.
all the.
Yeah.
I don't lose anything to somebody else.
No. No. You can do it either way.
Yeah, I don't do like Trucker Solutions and Rodex and all that
No. 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 No.
where
No.
it's all prepaid. Because then
Yeah.
you're regulated, and then they tell you have to use these stops and all that stuff. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Frank was in here. Is he coming on? So you think that people don't network? It's because they don't know how to network. They've not been shown the proper way to network, or it's really if they do network, they don't know what to do with it if they got it.
I think it all three above.
All above. I get it. That's why I did that webinar coming up for August
And,
20th.
and see, and here's the thing: if they would go back and treat it like they were when you were a kid, go back to when you were in middle school. Because you come out of elementary school, your friends changed because you went to a different school. Now you got new people. You had to network. You had to meet and talk to people.
I had to beat them up again.
Well, that too.
No, no, just kidding.
But you see what I'm saying? But it's like middle school and high school. You had to sit there and learn who, meet new people, talk to them, become your friend. You know, things that you like, that things that they like. That's the way you got to network it. You got to treat networking like you're the new kid in the playground. You got to make sure You know what you're looking at, who you want to deal with, and then find the other avenues from that area or from that aspect to be able to network with people. It's like, all right, so I'm a use Shaggy's consultants, but I'm gonna go over here and but I know a buddy over here at this brokerage over here, and I'm but he knows you, but but I'm gonna use him because I know him as a friend, and me and him are gonna talk about things. That's the way you got to network it because you got to be able to know what you're going to get into and what you're going to talk about. See, like if I didn't know you, it'd be, well, hey man, you're a buddy of mine. How do I get into doing this? And he goes, well, hey, I got this guy named Shaggy. He's a real good guy. He does a lot of stuff over here. He's very knowledgeable. He's willing to help you. He's willing to talk to you one on one. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give him a call and tell him to be expecting a phone call from you. And you go over there and talk to him, and he'll explain everything you need to know and be willing to help you because there's things I don't know. He can do it.
Is
That's
that
how you
like
network, and then you end up
is
talking to you,
network?
and then you become a good friend.
I like that. See, I like the same way. I like doing that too. Then also, I like residuals. I don't ever talk about residuals. The only problem with residuals is not like owning a compliance company, owning the brokerage, owning the
Mhm.
dispatching, owning the trucking company, owning my consulting. I now know who's the boss, right? Like I know
Yeah,
who when I had
yeah,
the
be the wife.
program and
Yeah,
all the other, yeah, other places when I'm working with all these partners, it's dictated by that business. When the economy's good, it's up. When the guys are in business, it's great. All this stuff, but you don't have no control. And so so like with being in control of the businesses, now I can help control the clients. I can help keep them in business longer by providing different products. It's like helping
and
out.
being able to keep control the trucks coming in, and being able to keep the freight moving.
Oh yeah,
So
so it's
you
like
got
I've had
control of
such
the
a
customer, but you also got control of the trucks. But
yep.
because you're able to work with the customer, work with the trucks, brokerage them to where you can keep the driver and the customer happy. Driver's happy because he's running loads nonstop.
Yeah.
Customer's happy because he's getting his product moving all the time. Don't have to worry about not having a truck there or a load not being able to be picked up.
Don't forget the compliance and safety that we do too. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? On top of that, then what's really cool is now you have that help with somebody where you're wearing those hats or you can help them do this or do that.
I will get that. Leave that alone. I'll get it. Sorry, my
But
mom's out here trying to move things.
what happens is my fleet gets bigger. You're like, well, how's that happen? Well, I have my trucking company. I have the guys that were helping dispatch. And then I have all these carriers that we're doing compliance for that I'm helping grow their fleet by consulting them with owner operators.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna go sell their trucks.
Yeah. We're gonna combine all these guys and put them all in one spot. That way, you have
Kind
your
of running
connections
out of
from
Shaggy,
different things.
but I'm kind of running out of Shaggy names.
You're running out of Shaggy names.
You know,
We'll start calling them Scooby then.
I know we're gonna go Scooby Logistics, Scooby Transport,
Yeah.
Scooby.
There you go.
I wonder what people think whenever you're like, well, you got Mystery Machine Inc. or Scooby Trucking, Scooby Transportation, Scooby Doo Logistics, or whatever. You know what I mean? And Shaggy's Logistics.
Yeah.
You guys a joke? Oh, for real? Google it
No,
here.
it is for real. You can look it up.
I know. This Google it.
And even on, if you don't believe me, look at his cars. Car, motorcycle. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all done.
yeah, and it's like it comes up everywhere. They were saying that the other day, but that's networking, right? Branding.
Yeah.
Like, you always think about whenever you go through, you look at all these. Like that's our biggest problem right now because we started and we built everything else, but we forgot the websites. So now we're in high speed with our website, but it's kind of cool that we forgot because we didn't have the company or the image yet. Now we
Yeah.
have it all. The products are built, the services are built, the credit scores coming, the team's in place, the everything's there. So now we got to go back to the website, take pictures and paint stories, get carriers that love Dan to give reviews and put
Yeah.
them on with selfies, and load it up, and we're ready to go to the next level. You know what I mean?
Well, it might be kind of a mistake, but wouldn't that be the way you want to do it in the first place?
Well, yeah, it is,
You'll
but
be able to build everything up, and then when you got the website,
but it,
then you can throw everything together. Everything's working at once, so people
right.
see it. Not like, oh well, I went to your website and man, I see all this, but you ain't got half of this working.
Yeah, see, and you should do that first. That's the problem I was bringing it up because the one thing it is a lot of people I see on their websites are just like us. They don't know what their story is, so they don't know what to put on there. So they use the wrong stuff, and their websites don't tell exactly what they want. You know what I mean?
What
I
they want, or how they're doing it,
I
or
could
what they're
set
doing.
up the website, but the way I
Mhm.
invested into this business, I didn't use a lot of money. It's crazy,
Yeah,
man. I only put 5 grand, right?
yeah.
And I've turned everything with the time and help of all these people that were like, some of these people have been here like volunteers to help do this while they work other jobs. We've worked really hard to build this, and it's
Yeah,
and we've bought all the products ourselves. It's all in house now, and it's crazy.
it, it's amazing how a plan comes together when you put the hard work in.
Yeah, I mean, I could have did a business plan and got loans. We could have got grants and stuff like that, but it was just a lot of hard work.
But
And
hey, but hold on, but that's how I got my truck. I did a business plan and got a grant
happens. I always do that stuff, and they
because
never.
I didn't have the money to back it up. I couldn't do it at 5 grand, so I had to go build a business plan and had to go spend $20,000 and go buy a truck. Now I'm $60,000 in the hole before I even get it on the road.
Wow.
So how do I
Yeah,
get my?
you just took me off into a whole nother story. Grants and freaking loans and UCRs and people
That
losing.
might be tomorrow.
I just had like the nightmare that got you're in court. You have a
Yeah,
grant or one of those PPE or SBA loans with the government. You're in court because you're now shut down your authority. You called Charles and you're going to be an owner operator at his company. You're sitting there with your peon judge, your cheap lawyer over on the side, and then all these bill collectors sitting in the back going, "Hey, how you doing?" And next thing you know, you're in there, right? And
hmm
just get ready. You're hoping it all gets written off. You're going to get to keep your truck, all this stuff and everything. And this guy comes flying through the doors with glasses on, like Tom Cruise, Charlie Sheen, and says, "Wait, hold up, Judge Charles. Just hold up 1 second there." And then as he's walking, he's like, "Yeah, and all you motherfuckers sit down. Wait in line." "Oh, were you keeping your truck in your house?" Gone.
yeah, yeah.
Government plays different than a regular bankruptcy. I've seen so many people lose their ass.
Yes.
And it's crazy too because you see all these people right now in this big grant scheme going on. I don't know what the
Mhm.
deal with it is, where everybody's getting these 150, $300,000 minority grants that they're giving away to all these people, I guess, because they're coming across. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
I
I
don't care.
I just don't know where they're getting the money from.
I don't either. And so what's happening is they're taking it, they're just putting they're doing the loopholes to get the grant. Then they get the grant, and then they take the money and they go use different businesses that make sense, not the one they got the grant for.
No, no, no. Yeah, they're using it
Fraud.
for everything else.
But it's
Yeah.
fraud.
Yes, it is fraud.
It's happening
It's
everywhere.
fraud. That way they can play with the money. Because hey, I got the grant for this business, but I'm gonna take this business and act like I'm buying this, this, and this. Spread the money back in my other businesses. Yeah, and that's another way of fraud too, because you're not.
I wonder how many people outside the United States are utilizing people in the United States to scam that right now.
Probably more than. Yeah, hold on. Yeah. When you decide to do something, you have your line that you need to follow, not going left, right. Oh, well, I didn't do this. Hold on, let me go over here. You'll end up screwing yourself in the end. And I can say that because I've been there and done that. I was in my younger days. I did this in my 20s and screwed up. So I'm telling you, do the research, do the planning before you make the move of doing it.
I like that. Good job. All
Yep.
right. Have a great one. Stop by tomorrow.
Definitely.
Later. I'll send you a link in the morning.
All right. Later, man.
All right, guys. Network. It's been an hour. We always go over. People show up late. We never know what we're doing around here. Try to keep it short. If you guys need help, we're always here for you. If you guys need dispatching, we're here for you. If you guys have flatbeds, we need to talk to you, and especially in Texas and PA. Hey, have a really great day. Stay faithful. You be positive. Stay proactive to your plan. If you don't have a plan, man, you got to have one. Write it down, restructure it. And then pay attention. This Friday, we'll have our webinar up on the shaggysconsulting.com. It's going to be August 20th. We're going to have 6 hours long, or six punchlines, four topics each punchline, all on a worksheet where you're going to take notes and go along through it with questions to be answered after. It's going to be really cool. It's going to help you reevaluate, restructure what you're doing, think about things you're missing. Why am I doing this now? What should I do next? Why is a brokerage important? It's going to be a lot of fun. Guys, have a really great day. See you guys tomorrow.